All right, good morning, everybody. We're going to get started with Jaxson Hayes. If anyone has questions, please raise your hand in the chat, and we'll get to you. Christos from Greece, you can lead us off, please.
Hello, Jackson.
Hello.
I would like to ask you, what are your first impressions about your team of next season, and how excited you are to collaborate with players like Steven Adams, and what would you like to learn from them?
I'm really excited about our new team this year. There's a lot of new guys, a lot of important pieces, and new coaches and stuff. So I'm just really excited just to learn from them, learn from those guys, just pick up what they got. I got to play against Steven last year, so it'll be a lot different just learning from him this year, which will be good.
Thank you.
What's up, Jackson? This is Will Guillory from The Athletic. What was the focus of your work during this past off season, and how good was it to be able to just focus on that work rather than dealing with all that pre-draft stuff that you did last year?
This offseason definitely felt like a lot better for me just personally because I got to work on more just things that I wanted to work on with my game and just work on my body a lot more. And I wasn't having to travel all the time. I just got to stay in one place, which is really nice. So I feel like this offseason I gained a lot of ground with my offensive stuff and some defensive stuff. And then my body just feels a lot better and a lot more in shape.
Hey, Jackson, this is Christian Clark with NOLA.com. I know you guys haven't got on the floor together as a team yet, but, just your initial conversations with Stan Van Gundy, just what are your thoughts about getting to work with him?
I'm very excited. Coach knows his stuff. He's coached a lot of great people, great players, and he wants to win. So, I'm just really excited just to get there, start listening to him, just get in practice with everybody and just see what he has in plan for us.
Hey, Jackson, it's Andrew from ESPN. Obviously, when you guys were in the bubble, it was a confined environment. Now you're going to be dealing with the pandemic kind of going on as you're playing. How do you kind of cope with that? How do you kind of deal with trying to stay safe while, everything is still kind of raging right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a lot more different than the bubble. The bubble, obviously, we were just all in one hotel. But now I feel like it's just more responsibility on the guys just to keep themselves safe, quarantine whenever they're not at the facility, stuff like that. Just take care of themselves.
Hey, Jackson, this is Jim Eichenhofer at Pelicans.com. I was wondering, are there certain areas that you want to improve on the most this season? Are there certain maybe even statistical stuff that you want to get better at, whether it's rebounding or what are some of the areas that you want to just show the most improvement this year?
I want to get a lot better rebounding, scoring the ball as well. My defensive stats, want to get my hand on more passes and just more shots and stuff like that. Just be more of a player for the team this year. Try to help out more.
What's up, Jackson? This is Will from The Athletic. I guess it's kind of the same question as Jim, but I think, going into your first year, you were focused on just kind of figuring out where you fit in, learning the NBA game. And this year, I'm sure you want to establish more consistent playing time. So what do you think you have to do to make sure you can stick in the rotation, going forward?
I just got to do what I do. I feel like I'm in a lot better shape than I was last year. So my conditioning and stuff like that's a lot better. I'm a lot stronger. I just got to run the floor, play the game how I normally play, and just add in the little things I added over the summer just to help me. I feel like I'll be good.
Hey, Jackson, Christos Saltas from Greece. I would like to ask you, how productive was this off-season for you? And do you feel ready to make a step up next season?
Oh, this is a very important off season for me just because this year is a very big year for me. I feel like I was working out 3 to 4 times a day, eating a lot better this year, just drinking a lot better, getting a lot more sleep this year. So I feel like I'm in a lot better shape and just feeling a lot better than I was last year.
Thank you.
Jackson, now, you kind of mentioned the conditioning, but what was maybe you think the biggest adjustment for you looking back on your rookie year that maybe you didn't anticipate, or maybe you kind of figured out along the line?
I probably say the physicality of the game. This summer I wanted to make it a big part of my I guess training is just to work on my balance and just my strength and my core, my legs and stuff like that, just so I can bang in there with the bigger guys. And so I feel like that'll help me a lot more this year.
Did you add any weight this year? This
I gained a little bit of weight. Most of it though is just more just strength than weight. Trying to get my body fat percentage better and just stuff like that. Just because I don't want to gain a bunch of weight and just get slower. So I've just been working on gaining good weight.
Hello, Jackson. How do you feel about the addition of Steven Adams in your roster, and how do you think you can feed your game from his experience?
I mean, I'm really excited. Like I mentioned earlier, Steve's really smart. He's been in the game for a while, so it's a lot of stuff I can pick up from him. A lot of center stuff, just like big man posts, little defensive stuff, just little stuff like that I can pick up from him.
Hey, Jackson, Christian Clark here one more time. Just getting to talk to Stan a little bit and, a couple of the other guys on the team. It seems like there's a belief that this team is capable of improving on the defensive end. Just, what kind of strides on that end do you think are realistic for this team?
I mean, I feel like we can be a top 5, top 10 team in the NBA for defense this year, just because we're so athletic, so long, and we've all gotten a lot more used to playing with each other. So I feel like, I mean, that's definitely a very big capability for us.
Jaxson, it's Jim again. You mentioned how when you're going through the process of putting on weight, one of the things that you want to keep in mind is that you don't want to get slower. You want to maintain your quickness. Do you feel like you and Steven could be just a really good 1-2 punch in terms of just different styles of play and just different strengths that you guys have at the center position?
Yeah, most definitely. Because I mean, obviously, me and Steven are built completely different. Steve's 7 foot, like I want to say, like almost 300 pounds. I'm 7 foot 230. So just our game style is a lot different. He's a lot more of a bruiser, and I just run the floor a lot better. So I feel like it'll be a nice little switch up.
Great. Thanks a lot, Jax.
Of course.
All right, everybody, we'll get going with Nickeil. Christian Clark, you can lead us off, please.
Hey, what's up, man? Christian Clark with Null.com. Good to see you. I was just wondering, could you tell us what the offseason looked like for you and kind of what were some of the things you were focused on?
This year has just been a lot of drilling things that I have been good at. I think last year I did a good job of getting into the paint. Then it was just kind of making better decisions. So working decision-making in the paint, different finishes, floaters, getting all the way to the basket, finishing high above the glass, and then like at the rim even. That was the main focus. I did some work on my shot, trying to get my base right, my feet right, like getting a good rhythm into my catch and shoots.
And just to follow up on that real quick, I mean, how do you like work on decision making, when you're just kind of drilling it in a gym?
Fortunately, my agents at Washington and Orleans, who I work out with, they did a good job of like putting me in position. They had multiple guys in the gym, like 4 to 5 guys that would intern and just kind of help out. I'd be driving against one, another guy would come over to help, just practicing like in-game looks with a numerous amount of people.
What's up, Nickeil? This is Will Giller with The Athletic. I asked Jaxson a similar question, but what do you think is going to take for you to lock down a consistent spot of rotation this year? You were kind of in and out last year, but just to be able to feel like you can play every.
Knowing who I am and sticking to who I am. I think every player who plays on our team and had consistent minutes did what they do best. And so that's what I'm going to do. I believe that on the floor, I can defend. I show flashes of that and like being able to, towards the end as well, like picking up full court, getting into guys, and just wanting it more than others. I think I have a tenacity and like I compete with like some toughness to me that will allow me to do so. I think I can shoot the ball. I think I could pass and get to the paint. I don't see much that I can't do respectfully as a basketball player. Obviously, I'm not saying I'm the best, but I know that I have a lot that I can bring to the team, and I'm willing to do so.
Hello, Nickeil. Christos Chaldas from Greece. I would like to ask you, what are your expectations about next season? And also, the Pelicans has a new head coach, Stan Van Gundy. Do you believe with his direction you can make a step up as a player?
I do for sure. He does remind me of playing for Buzz. His focus, his attention to detail, his passion for the game, and like how he's always in here working. When I come back at night, he's still here in his office or talking with Coach Bob about whatever coaches talk about. But I think as far as expectations go for the team, I think just to be better than last year for me. And better than last year can be in a lot of things. But any improvement for us is improvement. We're still young. We got time ahead of us. But as long as we're making steps in the right direction.
Andrew, you're on mute.
There we go. Andrew from ESPN here. You kind of talked a little bit about it in your, I guess, your early impressions of Stan, but what's been your conversations with him been like, and maybe in regards to your role, whether it's at point guard, whether it's at the 2, where does he kind of see you fitting this year?
He did ask me when we met. Personally, I told him the 2. It's kind of how I grew up playing. Playing with Shea, grew up at the 2. Playing at Virginia Tech with Justin Robinson, I was mainly the 2 until he went down. I think that's where my versatility showed, where I could play a little bit of the 1 and can play the 1. But comfortable, I feel comfortable at both, but just knowing off of experience and years of going at it, I just felt like, for me personally, being heavy at the 1, in terms of numbers this year, I thought it'd be easier for me to be a 2, and kind of play off Zoe, play with Zoe, God's willing, if I'm able to work my way into the starting position to help the team.
Hey, Nickeil, this is Jim from Pelicans.com. I was wondering, is there anything, now that you've had a couple months or a few months to kind of look back on it, is there anything that you can take away from the way that you played in the bubble? It seemed like a couple of the games that you had there were among the best games that you played all season, including the last one.
Definitely. It was very, 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 trying to find the words. It was a good feeling, I should say, to leave your rookie year on a high note. Especially first start, a lot of nerves kind of went into the game, but as it went out, it unraveled. And one thing I will say is that, like, talking to JJ on the rookie year, talking to Nickeil and even Drew, one thing that remained consistent was, like, they always told me, just keep your head up, keep working. And that's what I did. So that helped me. I mean, I wouldn't have done that had I stopped working or let my rookie circumstances get the best of me. And so I think I took that from the bubble. Just control what you can control, keep working hard, and be ready. I have the most confidence in my abilities, and I say that humbly. I know who I am. I work hard to be in this position, and so I'm just going to make the most of it.
What's up, Nickeil? This is Will from The Athletic again. You kind of mentioned what I was going to ask already, but I know you made a point last year of being around JJ as much as possible, picking his brain. How much do you think that helps you during your rookie year and kind of prepare you going into your second year?
I think it's done a lot for me, and I'm very grateful for him, thankful for him as well. Like, there's so much that, like, a 21-year-old doesn't know, especially coming into the NBA. Like, your life changes drastically, and there's no preparation for that. And JJ being in year 14 at the time, like, there's so much that I could have learned from him, and, like, can still learn from him to help me. And I think, like, going through a full year of just picking his brain and being able to adjust as I see things coming, it helps slow down the process. And, you know, the more, like, you talk to older people and they always say, I wish I didn't do this and I wish I didn't do that. So you kind of want to learn from their mistakes. And the older I could get without saying that, that means I've been learning and it means I've been applying it. And so that's what I want to do.
Hey, Nickeil, Christian Clark here again. You know, talking with Stan and some of the other guys on the team, it seems like there's a belief that this team can improve on the defensive end this season. Just what kind of improvement do you think is realistic for you guys to make collectively?
I think just things you can control. Communication. That's something that immediately will improve just because it's going to be, like, we're going to be held accountable in a different way. And I know he doesn't necessarily, like, he's a drill sergeant, and respectfully so. And so, like, he's just going to work us and to make sure that in all the areas that we can control, we are controlling them. He wants us to, and we all should want to and do want to be a team that wants to lose simply because a team beat us. We don't want to lose, period. But if we do lose a game, it's not off what we can control. And I think last year, a lot of games we could have controlled the outcome, and this year, that main focus defensively will help us.
Nickeil, I would like to ask you how important for you is to collaborate with JJ Redick, a very experienced guy, and what did you learn? What did you learn from him?
Control what you can control. Just being a professional through and through. Routines, trial and error, understanding that it's a process. It takes time. You might find something you like, might have to switch, and there's so much that comes to the game that you can't really predict. You have to be able to adapt to change, be comfortable with the uncomfortable situations. And as hard as it is to do that, it's necessary in this field to work. And so I think just picking his brain and learning that, seeing how he listens to his body, and knowing how to push and how to rest, knowing when to say yes and no to things.
Thank you.
Hello, Nickeil. Antoine Bexten from France. A few months ago, you said you studied Manu Ginobili's game during the quarantine. Did you study other players' game during the off-season?
I did watch a lot of Ginobili and his finishing, and his craftiness, being able to get into the paint, Euro steps, different maneuvers, changing speeds, like slowing down, long strides. I think like as far as finishing in the paint goes and at his position and being dominant left hand, just kind of taking that from him. Like, how can I add that to my game? As far as other players go, this year I wanted to make a main focus on myself, and reading off myself. Okay, what did I do well this year? What did I not do well in? And where would I like my game to go? And so from there, like I give credit to, again, like my agents and Olin for helping me like drill that.
Great. Thanks a lot, Nickeil.
Appreciate it.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you.